In 1984 in Los Angeles, the 21-year-old Brazilian Joachim Cruz won his country's first track gold medal. The man whom he beat in the 800 meters final that day was one of the greatest middle distance runners of all time. Runners had avoided racing. Steve Ovett was the underdog for the 800 meters final. The first lap run in slow time should have suited Coe, the world record holder, who was renowned for his sprint finish. But Coe was stuck at the back of the field, running a poor tactical race and having to use the outside lanes to make an attack. On the final bend, the Soviet Nikolai Kirov held the lead with Ovett on his shoulder. Coe had left himself too much to do and could only take silver behind his great rival. Ovett was now firm favorite for the 1500 meters gold, especially as Coe had struggled in his qualifying heats. But the final was anything but a two-horse race, as East Germany's Jürgen Straub forced the pace. On the final straight, Coe and Ovett kicked for home at the same time. Coe, the supreme competitor, had conquered his greatest fear, failure.
The first feeling was relief. The second feeling was, I really don't need this anymore. I mean, I had really had enough. And even on my lap of honour, I thought, well, I'm not even sure I want to come back to an Olympic stadium again.
Four years later, both Coe and Ovett were in Los Angeles, but neither man was given much chance of winning the 1500 meters title. Ovett had been suffering from a respiratory problem that had seen him struggle to make the final. Coe had been afflicted by a rare, sometimes fatal infection that had seen him hospitalized for much of 1983. He had already lost his 800-meter title to Joachim Cruz and was being heavily criticized by the British press. The race was fast as Steve Scott and Jose Abascal forced the pace to try and neutralize the sprint finishers. On the last lap, Ovett was struggling for breath. He stopped running and later collapsed on the infield before being taken to hospital. On the final bend, both Coe and fellow Englishman Steve Cram passed Jose Abascal. The gold medal will go to the man with the best sprint finish. As he crossed the line, Coe turned to the press and shouted, "Now perhaps you'll believe me." Not only had he proved his critics wrong, he had become the only man to have retained the Olympic 1500-meter title and assured his place in sporting history.